Time, Grit, and Quiet Power. A mentor's letter for anyone ready to stop drifting and start building. Friend, pull up a chair. Let's talk like we always do. Honest, unhurried, and straight to the point. No fireworks, no fancy slogans. Just two people who want the next 5 years to look different from the last 5. Because here's the truth. Time is the only wealth we all receive in equal portions each day. What we do with it separates those who grow from those who stall. And if you feel behind right now, that's not a verdict. It's a starting line. I've been where you are, tired, scrolling, wondering if effort still matters in a world that looks like it runs on shortcuts. It does, but not the loud kind. The real shortcut is a long road walked daily, small steps, steady habits, and the courage to ignore the noise. Before we get practical, let me set the frame so you hear the rest with clarity. Stop wasting time trying to prove other people wrong. Prove yourself right. Your life is not a courtroom, and you don't owe anyone a closing argument. Treat time as your most valuable asset. Invest it in learning new skills, caring for your health, and building relationships that breathe oxygen into your goals. Avoid chronic negativity. Some rooms drain you, some rooms charge you. Choose your rooms. Let failure be a teacher. Every no contains an instruction if you're willing to listen. Talent matters, but consistency compounds. Commitment turns average into excellent. I'm going to speak simply, not because you're incapable of complexity, but because simplicity is a power tool. When our days get complicated, simple rules keep us moving. Even in the silence of daily effort, we all must learn the quiet math of time to understand where our future is truly earned. Time is not minutes on a clock. It's opportunity disguised as routine. People think the day is 24 hours, and that's technically true. But for builders, the day is a portfolio. Every hour is a slot where you can put either an asset or a liability. Assets: reading 10 pages, practicing a skill, exercising, deep focused work, calling a mentor, scheduling your week. Liabilities: arguments on the internet, doom scrolling, gossip, resentment, busy work that looks like work. If you invest one focused hour daily into a single skill, that's 365 hours per year. That's a college semester of practice you gave yourself, without tuition and without permission slips. And here's the thing, the market pays compound interest on competence. A rule I use: before you spend an hour, ask, does this buy me future free hours? Learning automation or a new tool? Future free hours. Strength training and sleep? Future free hours via better energy? Gossip and outrage? Future lost hours because they leave mental residue. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Seneca: preparation is how you make time shake hands with luck. Instead of shouting for validation, wise people learn to stop proving people wrong, prove yourself right, by quietly producing results. You are not a press release. You don't need to convert doubters like customers. The moment you anchor your motivation to other people's opinions, you rent them space in your head. Proving people wrong is an expensive hobby. It burns cycles, breeds resentment, and leaves you empty when applause fades. Instead, work from a personal standard. I keep promises I make to myself. I practice when no one is watching. I speak softly, but I am relentless. If someone said you can't do it, the most liberating response is not a comeback. It's quiet progress. There's a reason athletes wear headphones in tunnels. They're already listening to something more important, their plan. Here's the mindset shift. Goals are not megaphones, they're compasses. They point you somewhere. They're not for broadcasting, they're for aiming. The moment you realize that time is capital, invest, don't spend, your priorities begin to rearrange themselves toward purpose. You wouldn't torch your savings for a moment of thrill. Don't do it with your minutes. Time is the original currency. Treat it like capital. Allocate to high-yield behaviors, learning, health, deep relationships. Learning, 1 focused hour a day. Pick a skill that makes you useful in the market: writing, selling, coding, analysis, design, data, negotiation. Health, sleep like a pro, move daily, eat like your brain matters, because it does. Relationships, 1 proactive, thoughtful message daily to a mentor, a peer, a potential collaborator. The right introduction often moves your life more than 50 hours of solo hustle. Whether they lift you or drain you, never forget that. The people around you, batteries or black holes, decide the voltage of your motivation. You already know this in your bones. Some people make you feel bigger, others make you feel smaller. Negativity is contagious, and so is ambition. Pick your infections wisely. A 3-step relationship audit. List 10 people you interact with most. Mark each as plus, 0, or minus, based on how you feel after time with them. More clarity or energy equals plus, neutral equals 0, drained or confused equals minus. Adjust your exposure. More, plus guardrails around 0 and firm boundaries with minus. No speech is required. Just be busy. Tell them, I'm working on something that matters to me. Let your consistency do the talking. Every stumble becomes a lesson. When you let failure is a teacher wearing work boots remind you that progress is earned through mess. You can decorate a failure with shame, or you can mine it for instructions. Same event, different outcome. Make a small ritual out of it. The 5-question debrief. What did I try? What result did I expect? What happened instead? What variable did I ignore? What's my next micro experiment? Put it on a sticky note. Review after any stumble. You are not failing, you are calibrating. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Friedrich Nietzsche. Your why turns a bruise into a blueprint. True mastery appears when you remember that. Skill greater than credentials, but habits greater than everything, is more than a formula, it's a philosophy. Degrees open doors, skills keep them open. Markets pay for usefulness, not just paper. Read, watch, listen. Tutorials are everywhere, and many are free. Yet even skills bow to habits. Because a skill practiced sporadically is a skill forgotten, but a skill practiced daily is a flywheel. The S habit loop: start, work, stop. Start at a set time, for example, 7:30 a.m. Work in a single 45 to 60-minute block, phone away. Stop on time. Ending well today makes tomorrow easier to begin. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the stove. You can cook on spark only once. If you want visible results, practice the 1-hour compound habit until your discipline makes improvement inevitable. Choose one skill. Set 1 hour. Use one metric. Example: skill persuasive writing. Hour 7:30 to 8:30. AM Monday through Friday. Metric: publish 2 short posts per week or send 2 cold emails that earn replies. Every 4 weeks, level up. Increase difficulty, ship something slightly larger, or seek feedback from someone you respect. Protect the hour like a meeting with your future self, because that's who's waiting there. The successful eventually discover that boredom is a doorway, not a dead end, leading them toward quiet excellence. Success looks glamorous from the outside. Inside, it's repetition, drafts, rewrites, quiet practice. At first, boredom arrives like rain on a training day. Eventually, it's a companion you trust. When you can do the boring thing with grace, you become dangerous, because most people quit at the first yawn. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Will Durant read that twice? It's a map. Training your attention daily through digital weightlifting, how to beat the scroll, strengthens the muscles of focus and intention. Your phone is a gym for attention. Either you lift it on purpose or it lifts you and throws you around. 3 simple reps. Home screen. Diet, keep only tools on page 1. Calendar, notes, camera, maps. Entertainment on page 2 or inside a folder called Later. 30-minute lockbox. During your 1-hour block, put the phone in a different room for the first 30 minutes. It's shocking how much this buys you. Screen time. Honesty? Check. Every Sunday, screenshot your weekly screen time. If the number is higher than last week, pick one app to uninstall for 7 days. People say, I don't have time. Often we have time, we just gave it away. Protecting your mind and stamina is easier once you treat health as a productivity cheat code as a rule, not a reminder. Sleep. Protect 7 to 8 hours. Nothing substitutes for it. Movement. 20 to 30 minutes daily. Walk, push-ups, stretch, consistency beats complexity. Food, eat for clarity. Ask, will this help me think clearly in 90 minutes? If yes, eat it. If no, reconsider. Stillness. 5 minutes of quiet breathing after lunch. That's a mental reset button your future afternoon will thank you for. Energy builds momentum. Momentum bends probability. In teams that truly achieve, everyone knows. The no drama rule at work prevents wasted hours and emotional noise. Drama is productivity's tax. Gossip, vague tasks, constantly shifting priorities. These are holes in your boat. Plug them. ASK for specifics. What does success look like by Friday? Summarize in writing. Here's what I'm doing, and by when? Protect deep work. Book calendar blocks like appointments. Simple communication saves hours and prevents silent resentment. It also builds a reputation, reliable, clear, calm. That brand travels. The tale of Alina shows that living proof exists for the fictional but totally plausible success story. We all dream of writing. Meet Elena Vargas, 41, single mom of 2. Night shift cashier at a highway gas station. Her life felt like a loop. Sleep, school drop-off. Shift, bills, repeat. She had a business degree from years ago that felt like a souvenir. One Tuesday night, a delivery driver joked, "You know more about the store's data than corporate does." It stuck. The next morning, Elena made a decision. 60 minutes a day for 180 days. No fanfare, no announcement. Just a quiet pact with herself. She chose Excel and basic data analysis. Why? Because the store leaked money through inventory errors, and she suspected the patterns were fixable. Her first month. Clumsy spreadsheets at 6 a.m. while oatmeal cooked. Second month, she learned pivot tables and simple dashboards. Third, she watched short videos on Markdown and basic SQL. Fifth, she volunteered to analyze shrinkage patterns for her manager, discovering that energy drinks and premium snacks were mis-scanned at peak hours. Sixth, she redesigned shelf labels and proposed a new scanning checklist for the busiest shifts. The store saved $1,600 in 1 month. Not life-changing money for a corporation, but undeniable. She got a bonus. Rather than spending it, Alina bought a used laptop and took a short online course. She kept the 1-hour habit. She documented everything in a simple portfolio. Screenshots, 3 bullet points per project, before-after numbers. By month 9, Alina interviewed for a junior analyst role at a regional chain. The hiring manager asked, "How did you learn all this while working nights with kids?" She smiled. 1 hour at a time. She got the job. In year 2, Alina led a small team that optimized deliveries using basic forecasting, reducing stockouts by 12%. She trained other cashiers after hours, paying forward the path she'd carved. Alina was never the loudest in the room. She didn't rage against doubters. She built usefulness. She proved herself right. Her children watched their mother's life change, not because a gatekeeper opened a door, but because she built the hinges. Let Alina's story remind you. Ordinary minutes used intentionally turn into extraordinary years. Keep these truths close. For the 4 commitments, carry these in your pocket. Will guide you when motivation fades. Direction over drama, I will spend time where it compounds. Systems over slogans. I'll build a daily hour rather than chase bursts of hype. Learning over lurking. For every hour of browsing, at least 1 hour of building. Courage over comparison. I'll create in public before I feel ready. Anyone who desires real change can begin today by following the Prove Yourself Right playbook, practical and immediate without delay. Tonight, 15 minutes. Write down 1 skill that would make your work or business undeniably more valuable within 90 days. Circle it. Commit to 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. Tomorrow morning, 60 minutes. Begin Module 1. Fundamentals only. No complex theory. Just tools you can use today. End of week 1, 20 minutes. Make a 1-page what I learned summary. Use plain language. If you can't explain it, simply you didn't learn it yet. Week 2, 60 minutes times 5. Apply the skill to a tiny project at work or in life. Save screenshots. Record before-after numbers. Week 3, 30 minutes. Ask 1 person for feedback. Listen without arguing. Adjust. Weeks 4 to 12. Ship something every 2 weeks. A small report, a demo, a mini case study. Volume beats perfection. Quarterly review, 45 minutes. What skill now feels slightly boring? Great, you're leveling up. Add 1 adjacent skill. If you chose writing, add storytelling. If data, add visualization. Do this and you will not need to chase validation. Results will testify. Long-term transformation begins once you master how to choose rooms and timelines that love your future, not just your comfort. A simple model. Room A, people talk about people. Room B, people talk about ideas. Room C, people talk about execution. You need a little of A, humans need connection. Some of B, we need vision. But you must live in C. Most growth happens among people who ship, review, and ship again. Choose C rooms where your work is seen and improved, not just praised or mocked. And on timelines. Think 1 day, 1 quarter, 1 decade. 1 day. Do the next right hour. 1 quarter. Deliver something measurable. 1 decade. Become someone whose work speaks for itself. If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Seneca. Name your port. The wind will help you if you steer. The calm achiever understands that patience amplifies the discipline. Dividend, why boring wins in the end. Overtime. Motivation gets you to the gym. Discipline keeps you there long enough to change. So let's make discipline friendly, not fierce. Pair it with kindness. When you miss a day, reset without drama. When you feel stuck, reduce the task size by 50%. When you dread the work, do 5 minutes only. The doorway effect will carry you further. Consistency isn't rigidity. It's returning. Your journey will accelerate only when you intentionally climb the 3 ladders you climb at once: skill, character, and network. Skill ladder, concrete abilities that make you useful. Character ladder, habits that make you reliable. Network ladder, relationships that make you visible. Climb all 3 in parallel. Don't neglect the third. Talent in a vacuum is just potential energy. Visibility turns it kinetic. To stay centered under stress, memorize a few micro scripts for hard moments and repeat them when life presses in. When someone doubts you, maybe, I'll test and show results. When you fail, great, now I know what not to repeat. When you're overwhelmed, 1 hour, 1 task. When you're tempted to doom scroll, 10 pages instead. When your circle pulls you down, I'm busy building. When progress feels invisible, compound interest is quiet until it isn't. Seek not wealth alone, but harmony between money, time, and meaning, and your success will sustain itself naturally. Chasing money without building meaning is arithmetic without algebra. It adds up but doesn't solve larger problems. Build money through usefulness, protect time through systems, and create meaning by serving people. The paradox: the more you invest your time wisely, learning, health, relationships, the more optionality and eventually income you create. Use habits to build leverage. Use leverage to buy back time. Use time to build a life you're proud of. Small actions can change entire years when you simply follow how to start today. A 30-minute checklist instead of waiting. Write your why statement, 2 sentences max. Choose your one skill. Write it on a sticky note. Block 1 hour in your calendar for 5 days. Prepare the space, clear desk, headphones, water. Remove friction, logins ready, tutorials bookmarked. Tell one person who will ask you next week, how'd it go? That's it. Not tomorrow. Today. The clock won't slow down for anyone. Before giving to others, remember first what you owe yourself: integrity, consistency, and self-respect. You don't owe the world perfection. You owe yourself momentum. You don't need to be the smartest, and just the most consistent. You don't need a louder voice, just a steadier one. And when the voice in your head says, it's too late, remember it's later than yesterday and earlier than tomorrow. That means now is the cheapest time you'll ever have to start. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. Warren Buffett. Invest daily, quietly, relentlessly. Strengthens progress. So establish closing the day, a 5-minute ritual, as sacred time for self-review. Every night, answer 3 questions in a notebook. What did I finish? What did I learn? What will I do in my next 1-hour block? That last question primes your brain overnight. Tomorrow's you will thank you for the head start. On difficult mornings, whisper the principle if you need one thought to carry and let it lift you back into motion. Prove yourself right. Let your calendar be your manifesto. Let your actions be your argument. Let your results be your reply. You don't need louder affirmations, you need a smaller distance between promise and practice. Shrink that distance hour by hour and watch your life change shape. And if anyone asks how you did it, you can tell them the truth. I stopped wasting time on applause. I started investing time in growth. Every meaningful transformation begins by understanding the psychology of momentum, where effort creates belief. Momentum is emotional physics. An object in motion stays in motion, and so do people. When you start small and keep promises to yourself, your self-trust compounds. That's the real secret behind so-called motivation. You begin to believe your own word again. Start with this rule: never miss twice. Miss a workout? Fine, don't miss the next. Skip a learning session? Life happens. Just don't skip the next one. 2 in a row turns a slip into a slide. Momentum is built on forgiveness paired with forward motion. One without the other is paralysis. Success becomes sustainable only when you nurture building the inner team. That lives inside your own mind. Inside you live 3 voices. The dreamer sees what could be. The builder figures out how to make it real. The critic tries to keep you safe by pointing out risk. Most people let the critic drive. The key is to let the dreamer steer, let the builder navigate, and let the critic ride shotgun only when data is needed. You don't silence the critic, you assign it a smaller seat. Each morning, take 30 seconds and ask, what does my dreamer want today? What does my builder need? What evidence does my critic bring? That quick dialogue rewires your inner psychology toward action rather than avoidance. Replace envy with insight by mastering the mindset shift 1. From comparison to calibration, before it drains your energy. Comparison says, I'm behind. Calibration says, I'm learning. When you compare, you drain energy. When you calibrate, you gather information. Instead of scrolling someone's highlight reel and feeling inferior, study why their results exist. What systems, habits, or environments support them? Then borrow, don't envy. Envy is the art of counting the other fellow's blessings instead of your own. Harold Coffin. Turn envy into research. That's how mature learners evolve. Fear loses power when you embrace the mindset shift. 2. From perfection to progress, and allow yourself to start imperfectly. Perfectionism disguises fear as high standards. It whispers, don't start until you're sure. Progress whispers back, start and you'll get sure. Every creator you admire started rough. Draft 1 is supposed to be ugly. The courage to be average for a while is what lets you become excellent later. If you wait for the perfect conditions, you will never get anything done. Ecclesiastes 11:4. Done imperfectly beats perfect intentions. Your surroundings either push or pull you, which is why you must design your environment to win before relying on willpower. Willpower is overrated. Environment quietly decides who wins. Visual triggers. Keep your goals visible. Sticky notes on mirrors, wallpapers with reminders. Friction control. Make good habits. Easy, book ready on table. And bad habits. Hard. TV remote in another room. Micro reward system. Celebrate execution, not just results. A check mark, a cup of coffee, a walk outside. Community design. Follow builders and peers who build, not complain. You can't outperform a toxic environment for long. So redecorate your reality to match the person you're becoming. The patient achiever practices micro goals and macro patience to build unshakable long-term results. People quit because they reverse these two. They expect macro results fast and forgive micro laziness forever. Flip it. Micro urgency, macro patience. Be urgent about today's tasks. Be patient about the 5-year arc. If you plant a seed and dig it up daily to check progress, you kill it. Same with skills and ideas. Water it with consistency. Measure quarterly, not hourly. Emotion turns to data. When you apply how to handle setbacks like a scientist after every challenge. When a scientist runs an experiment and it fails, they don't cry. They record the data. You can do the same. The LAB method. Look, observe what actually happened. Adjust, change one variable. Build, test again quickly. Emotion after failure is normal. Lingering there is optional. Scientists don't take failure personally, they take it professionally. The habit of growth spins faster. When you align the success triangle, learning times, doing times reflecting in perfect rhythm. Imagine 3 gears: learning, input, books, mentors, videos. Doing, output, practice, projects. Reflecting, feedback loop, journaling, analysis. If one gear stops, the machine jams. People stuck in learning hoard information. People stuck in doing repeat mistakes. People stuck in reflecting overanalyze. Balance them weekly. Learning, what new idea did I encounter today? Doing, how did I apply it within 24 hours? Reflecting, what pattern am I noticing? Cycle these and you'll accelerate exponentially. True thinkers externalize their thoughts because the power of writing. Things down converts ideas into accountability. Writing externalizes thinking. It's free therapy and cheap coaching. Keep a working on me notebook. Divide into 3 sections: ideas I'm stealing, habits I'm building, lessons I paid for. You'll notice repeating insights. That's your personal curriculum. Reread monthly. Your own notes will become a better teacher than most courses. Protecting your vitality requires keeping a balanced energy budget between input and output every week. Just like money, energy must be budgeted. Income, sleep, movement, nutrition, gratitude, meaningful conversations. Expenses, negativity, indecision, overcommitment, unresolved conflict. Audit weekly. If you're consistently in the red, no productivity hack can help. Fix the leaks first. Often that means saying no faster and resting before you break. The time to relax is when you don't have time for it. Sidney J. Harris. Rest is not retreat, it's reload. In this noisy digital era, practicing social media, some social mastery, defines whether you lead or follow the feed. Use social media as a tool, not a trap. Follow builders, not arguers. Create before you consume. Share progress, not perfection. The algorithm loves outrage. Wisdom loves silence. Choose which one you want shaping you. A practical rule: 1 for 1. For every hour spent consuming, spend 1 hour producing something of your own. Consumption without creation is digital obesity. Repetition becomes meaningful only when you uncover finding meaning in repetition as the secret language of mastery. Imagine a drummer practicing the same rhythm for hours. From the outside, it's monotony. Inside, it's meditation. Every repeated task, emails, coding, editing, rehearsing, is a prayer of progress. When you attach purpose to repetition, boredom turns sacred. So next time you're grinding, whisper, "This is the sound of me getting better."